Hi friends, today we will we know that it's a physical question. So it's actually a rock is dropped from a height of 100 meter by a positional function is given by s of t is equal to minus 16 t square plus 100. Determine how long it takes to travel, and question is find the average velocity v average, and next one is find the time t guaranteed by the mean value theorem when the instantaneous velocity is equal to the average velocity. It is very important question actually. We have three different type of question. So this is the function s of t is equal to minus 16 t square plus 100. It is a positional equation or positional function by this body, and if you wanted to find the velocity, first derivative you can find it and you will be having the velocity function. If you are differentiating again, you will be having acceleration function. First question is determine how long it takes to travel, which means what is the time taken to travel this body. So it is actually 100 meter apart from the ground. Rock is here and this distance is 100 meter. This distance is 100 meter and it is traveling by the equation, by the function s equal to minus 16 t square plus 100. So here we need to find the time taken to travel to reach to the ground. Here, how to find it? If the rock is released from the 100 meter height and it is traveling to the ground, and after it is reaching to the ground, the position will be 0. So the position will be 0 means we can equate this s equal to 0, because here if body or rock is reached to the ground here, so that can be s equal to 0. The positional function becomes 0 or s equal to 0. So that idea I am applying here to find the total travel time. So here s equal to 0, we can equate minus 16 t square plus 100 equal to 0 similarly. So minus 16 t square plus 100 equal to 0. So we can solve this equation for finding t. This t will be the total time of flight. So here minus 16 t square equal to minus 100. So minus minus get cancelled. T square equal to 100 divided by 16. So it will be 6.5, and the root of we need to find the t also. So here t square is 6.5, t is equal to root of 6.5, so it will be 2.5. Here there will be two values, 2.5 plus 2.5 and minus 2.5. So we can equate like that. We can consider plus and minus 2.5 because of the root. But in physical quantity, minus time is not allowed. So we have to delete the minus time. So 2.5 I am considering only with the plus sign. So it will be the answer for time. So the total time is 2.5 seconds, which means starting time will be 0 and the total time interval will be 0 to 2.5. So total time interval it will be 0 to 2.5. So in this case, the second question is find the average velocity V average, which means we have to find the average velocity from this equation. Here the time of flight we already derived, or we found it from the question number 1. So the total time taken for the travel is 2.5, which means the start time is 0 and 2.5 is the end time. So the total interval or time interval will be AB will be 0 to 2.5. Total time interval will be 0 to 2.5. It is a positional equation minus 16 t square plus 100 in the time interval 0 to 2.5. So it can be equated like this. Time interval AB is equal to 0 2.5. Velocity always can be calculated by using position or distance by time is the velocity. So here also the distance by time, because distance I am taking the average value, because the distance at maximum time minus distance at minimum time divided by the difference between the time interval. So here S of B and S of A we have to calculate here. So S of B equal to, B means here 2.5, so S of B is equal to minus 16 into 2.5 all square plus 100. It will be equal to 0. And S of A equal to, A is equal to here 0, so I am putting T is equal to 0 here, minus 16 into 0 square plus 100 equal to 100. So we are getting S of B is equal to 0 and S of A equal to 100. Then I am putting this value here to find the V average. So this is equal to S of B. S of B means here 0 minus S of A, here it is 100, so 100 divided by B minus A. B means 2.5 minus A is 0. So it will be equal to minus 100 by 2.5. So it will be minus 40 meter per second here. So here the third question, find the time t guaranteed by mean value theorem when the instantaneous velocity equal to the average velocity. So we calculated the average velocity here. Average velocity is equal to minus 40 meter per second, and instantaneous velocity means we have to calculate v inst. So that is usually for finding the derivative. So ds by dt. ds by dt. You know that first derivative it is the velocity, and second derivative is the acceleration. So here ds by dt is equal to d by dt of minus 16 t square plus 100. So it will be given by minus 32 t. In the question it is clear here, when the instantaneous velocity is equal to the average velocity. Instantaneous velocity we already found it, so it's a function. So minus velocity function is given by minus 332 t. So minus 32 t is equal to minus 40 meter per second. So these are equal. So I'm equating this one, v average equal to v instant, which means minus 32 t equal to minus 40 meter per second. So minus minus get cancelled. So t is equal to 40 divided by 32, which is 1.25. So this 1.25 is the time guaranteed by the mean value theorem when the instantaneous velocity is equal to the average velocity. So here, if you wanted to find like this question, so we have to find two types of velocity here. First is instantaneous velocity. We can find by using differentiation. So first differential will be the instantaneous velocity ds by dt, and another velocity is average velocity. Average velocity is related to the mean value theorem. 1.25 should be inside the given interval, that is also given by the mean value theorem. C belongs the interval AB, then only mean value theorem is satisfying. So here we can check this. C is equal to T here, so T is equal to 1.25. 1.25 is belongs the interval AB. AB means 0.0 and 2.5. So it is inside. So it is mean value theorem also satisfying and justifying. Thank you.